Albert?
I'm doing very well, sir, and you?
Very good, very good. We'll get you to jump in on the topic, which we do in the 6 a.m. hour. It was a hockey-related topic. We may have actually saved it for you because we talk to you on Wednesdays. If the NHL was to wrap up their season, and this was the hub city, Edmonton, and all the hockey players were flying into Edmonton to finish off and do the playoffs, and they had to billet out the players, who would you want?
Oh, well, I guess it depends, right? Like, I mean, there's a couple of questions that I have. Like, do I also have to house their families? Because some of these guys have families, so that's a concern.
Just the players.
Yeah. Okay, because I don't want to be bringing in some guy and his wife and his kids when I'm having to cook. Like, that's just, I'm not interested. So what I need is I'm going to need probably like a younger dude that wants to hang out when he's not playing, maybe play some video games, something like that. So I'm thinking looking at the Oilers as an example, I'm thinking maybe like a guy like Kailer Yamamoto would be fun.
Oh yeah,
okay,
it's a good choice.
Young dude, maybe want to have a couple of wobblies when you're done with your practice or your games or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid the families, man. I'm not housing all of the kids and the wife and it's just
the dog.
No.
Cam Talbot and his twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Talbot twins seem lovely and Kelly Talbot seems lovely, but I don't need all four of you in my house.
We do a lot of speculation news with our sportscasts on the show. So everything is like, well, they're having a conversation and the NHL has broken things down into phases. I guess I think the good news is everything that I see, and I don't know about you, but everything that I see about the possibility of the return, they always talk about the possibility of the return. It's going to happen. I think we're going to get this season done.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at the business that the NHL is and how much money they're losing by not having the playoffs on right now and all the TV deals and all the gate sales and all the merch and everything that they're losing out on right now. I think that they're going to fight to have this season come back up until the point where there's no time for it. They're even trying to crowbar the draft in before the season, quote unquote, is technically
I saw that
over.
Yesterday, yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense, but they're just like, hey, we need some summer TV revenue, so let's throw the draft on despite wanting to finish the season later. There's so many implications and weirdness and rules that are going to have to change and compromises that are going to have to be made from all sides to make this work. But like you said, the good side, the good news, the bright side is that they're going to keep working on it, and hopefully we will have hockey back again. I mean, I love the idea of being able to sit on a patio and watch some playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the summer. It was kind of like when the Raptors went to the playoffs.
It's like going to Vegas to watch a game.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be great. The streets will be packed. Patios will be packed. Well, I mean, are we going to be allowed to do that
Not
anywhere? Are we all going to be peering out our windows? Yeah, we're going to be spaced out 6 feet apart and 50% of people enjoying themselves with the other 50 people are stuck in their houses, I guess.
I did see a report that the Oilers are meeting with Alberta Health Services about a proposal. And I think you wrote an article on OilersNation.com about them submitting a proposal to be a hub city or something.
Yeah, so Edmonton, because Alberta has done a pretty good a job, Edmonton specifically, with kind of containing it, they're looking at our city as being a hub city. So the Oilers have reached out to Alberta Health. They've submitted a proposal to the NHL, and they're trying to see if this is possible because we've got infrastructure here. We've got 2 NHL arenas that are attached to a hotel that can house the bulk of these guys. There's practice arenas at McEwen. There's one at Nate. So there's a lot of space to do it. Mm-hmm. Will it happen? Who knows? I mean, it's obviously up to health officials to give the go-ahead or not, but we'll see.
I think you mentioned an interesting thing when we were just discussing it, the compromise, because I think if they're going to make this happen, people are going to have to be a little bit more, they're going to have to think less about their routine and give up some things. Like the hockey players are not going to see their families for a couple of months, right? And I think that's just going to be part of it. And I think that finishing of the season needs to be important to them, right?
Well, that's just it, because there's guys like Drew Doughty, who plays for the LA Kings, that have no chance of making the playoffs. And he's like, well, I don't really want to come back, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough. So that's going to be tough because there's guys, like you said, that have, that have families. Some of these guys, I'm thinking of Bo Horvat specifically with the Canucks as an example. He's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
So if he's quarantined in Edmonton to play games, but his wife goes into labor, does he leave and then have to re-quarantine before being able to play? There's so many questions that need answers, but we'll see how it goes. They're working towards it, and Alberta Health is involved now, and they've submitted a proposal to the NHL, and I guess all we can do is wait and see what happens.
How do you feel about some of these sports like shoehorning their way back, like the UFC? Because I'm torn, right? Because I'm like, is this too early? Should I be that guy that's going, this is too early, they shouldn't be doing this? Or should I let my excitement, because I'm very excited about the possibility of UFC on Saturday night with beers in the basement, should I let that sort of drive me? Where are you at with that?
It's a really tough question, and I'm with you because there's a lot of things where it's like, okay, Alberta's going to reopen in the coming weeks. I'm like, cool, patio. But then at the same point, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I might just stay in my house for another month longer just to see what happens.
Just to see, yeah.
The idea of watching sports on TV is super exciting. So I can see why anybody would be excited about it. I mean, just look at The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh my God.
Everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
ESPN bumped that up months to get it on TV now. They're doing the same thing with the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa documentary that was supposed to come out later. They're going to bump that one up too because people are craving sports. They need it.
They got one on Bruce Lee and Lance Armstrong too. They got
Jimmy.
2 more.
I'm going to be watching that one.
Jimmy watched the Bruce Lee one. It's one of his heroes. So no, it's interesting times. Again, like I said, I feel a little bit conflicted when we talk about the UFC because I'm not sure how people are viewing this. Right? Are they mad that he's making this happen? That he's sort of forced his way back, or are people just so excited about the possibility of any sporting activity live that they're going to just let it happen and without judgment?
Listen, I watched a baseball game from Korea the other day, so I feel like...
We were talking about you this morning. I said there's guys out there that are actually tuning in and watching North Korean or South Korean baseball. Yeah,
I mean, I threw it on, and I'm like, what's going on here? All right, there's some live sports. There's things actually going on, so why not? We'll see. Like, I mean, the UFC wants to do it. We're also talking about it just internally on a podcast, actually, about like golf could maybe come back soon. Yeah. Because there's, without the fans, you just get the guys out there doing their rounds, and you can televise that. But like, how many production crew members do you need there? Like, how many staffs and TV people do you need there? So there's a bunch of questions.
I think the UFC said they cut it down from 130 on the production team to 80 or something like that. So they cut their numbers down a little bit.
It's the travel thing that's the biggest hurdle, right? Like, how do you
100%.
Get everybody to Edmonton? How do you get everybody to Florida for these fights, right? And are you jeopardizing everybody because of the travel to make this happen, right?
Your dog needs to go out.
Yeah.
The dog is like...
Dog wants a beer.
I've had my siding being done now, for this is going on like 2 months, and it's driving him bananas. He hates everybody that's in my yard and banging around. So.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure to chat, my friend.
Thank you, boys.
Stay sane, Baggedmilk.
Well, I mean, that's a moving benchmark at this point.
All right. Baggedmilk from Oilers Nation. Have a good one. Take care, man.